every U.S. weapon used in World War II. The Browning automatic rifle, universally known as the BAR, served as the backbone of American infantry squad automatic weapons throughout World War II. Designed by legendary firearms inventor John Browning near the end of World War I, this weapon bridged the gap between rifles and true machine guns, providing mobile, sustained firepower at the squad level. Chambered in 30-06 Springfield, the BAR was a gas-operated, magazine-fed automatic rifle capable of selective fire. Soldiers could switch between semi-automatic and fully automatic modes, with the latter producing a firing rate of approximately 500 to 650 rounds per minute. The weapon fed from 20-round detachable box magazines, though the relatively limited capacity required frequent reloading during sustained engagements, a notable limitation compared to belt-fed machine guns, weighing between 15.5 and 19.4 pounds, depending on the variant. The BAR was heavy but manageable for a single operator. Most World War II-era BARs were the M1918, a 2 variant, which featured a bipod for stability and a fire selector, offering slow 300 to 450 RPM, or fast 500 to 650 RPM, automatic fire rates, though semi-automatic capability was removed. The BAR proved invaluable in both European and Pacific theaters. Its firepower allowed infantry squads to suppress enemy positions, support advances, and defend against counterattacks without requiring a dedicated machine gun crew. The weapon's reliability and punch earned it tremendous respect among American soldiers, who often assigned their best riflemen as BAR operators due to the weapon's tactical importance. Despite its weight and limited magazine capacity, the BAR remained in U.S. military service through the Korean War, with over 350,000 produced during World War II alone, cementing its status as one of America's most effective and iconic automatic weapons. The M1903 Springfield rifle served as the United States military's primary infantry weapon for over 3 decades before World War II. Adopted in 1903, this bolt-action rifle was designed following lessons learned from the Spanish-American War, where American forces faced Spain's superior Mauser rifles. The Springfield borrowed heavily from the Mauser design, resulting in a patent dispute that the U.S. government eventually settled by paying royalties to Mauser. Chambered in 30-06 Springfield, a cartridge specifically developed for this rifle. The M1903 was renowned for its exceptional accuracy and reliability. The rifle measured 43.2 inches long and weighed approximately 8.7 pounds. Its 5-round internal magazine was loaded via stripper clips, and soldiers operated the smooth bolt action to chamber each round manually. During World War II, the M1903 served alongside the newer semi-automatic M1 Garand. While gradually replaced as the standard infantry rifle, the Springfield found a specialized role as a sniper weapon. Fitted with telescopic sights like the M73 or M84 scopes, it became the preferred platform for American marksmen due to its superior accuracy at long ranges. The rifle's precision made it ideal for eliminating high-value targets and providing overwatch for advancing troops. The M1903, a 3 variant, introduced during the war, featured simplified manufacturing processes and improved sights to meet wartime production demands. Over 2 million M1903 rifles were produced during World War II alone. The Springfield's reliability and accuracy earned it respect among soldiers, and it continued serving in limited roles through the Vietnam War, testament to its enduring design and effectiveness. The M1 Carbine emerged during World War II as an innovative answer to a specific military need, a lightweight weapon more effective than a pistol, but more portable than a full-size rifle. Developed in 1941 and designed primarily by Winchester engineer David Marshall Williams, The carbine was intended for support troops, vehicle crews, paratroopers, and officers who needed personal defense without the bulk of standard infantry rifles, chambered in. 30 Carbine. A shorter and less powerful cartridge than the 30-06 used in the M1 Garand, the M1 Carbine sacrificed range and stopping power for reduced weight and improved maneuverability. Weighing just 5.2 pounds and measuring 35.6 inches long, it was significantly lighter and more compact than its contemporaries. The semi-automatic rifle fed from detachable 15-round magazines, later expanded to 30-round versions, providing substantial firepower in a small package. The carbine's gas-operated system proved reliable and easy to maintain under field conditions. Its relatively mild recoil and simple operation made it popular among troops, particularly in close-quarters combat situations in the Pacific Theater and European urban environments. Over 6.1 million M1 carbines were produced during the war, more than any other American small arm. Variants included the M101 with a folding stock for paratroopers and the selective fire M2 carbine introduced late in the war. While critics noted its limited effective range of around 200 yards and marginal stopping power, soldiers appreciated its light weight, ease of use, and reliability. The M1 Carbine continued serving through Korea and Vietnam, proving its lasting value in military arsenals. The M1941 Johnson rifle represents one of World War II's most interesting what-if stories in American firearms development. Designed by Boston lawyer and U.S. Marine Corps Reserve Officer Melvin Johnson, Jr., this semi-automatic rifle was developed as an alternative to the M1 Garand, featuring several innovative design elements that differentiated it from its more famous contemporary, chambered in. 30-06 Springfield, the Johnson rifle utilized a unique short recoil operating system rather than the gas-operated mechanism of the Garand. This design resulted in noticeably less felt, recoil, and improved accuracy. The rifle fed from a 10-round rotary magazine that could be topped off with individual rounds or 5-round stripper clips without removing the magazine, a significant advantage over the Garand's 8-round on-block clip system that required full replacement when empty, weighing approximately 9.5 pounds and measuring 45.9 inches long. The Johnson was comparable in size to the Garand, but offered superior features in some respects. The rifle's barrel could be quickly removed without tools, making it more suitable for paratroopers and special operations forces who needed compact, easily maintained weapons. Despite its innovations, the Johnson rifle saw limited adoption. By 1941, the U.S. military had already invested heavily in M1 Garand production infrastructure. However, approximately 70,000 Johnson rifles were manufactured, with most serving alongside the U.S. Marine Corps' Paramarines and Special Forces units, as well as Dutch forces in the Pacific. While never achieving widespread use, the Johnson rifle demonstrated advanced engineering and remains a fascinating footnote in American military firearms history, proving that superior design doesn't always guarantee adoption. The Thompson M1928 submachine gun stands as one of the most recognizable firearms in American history, achieving legendary status both in military service and popular culture. Originally designed by General John T. Thompson during World War I, the weapon didn't see widespread use until the interwar period, where it gained notoriety in the hands of both law enforcement and gangsters during Prohibition-era America. Chambered in. 45 ACP. The Thompson M1928. It could fire from either 20-round box magazines or distinctive 50-round and 100-round drum magazines at a rate of approximately 600 to 700 rounds per minute. The weapon's blowback operating system and substantial 10.75-pound weight help manage the powerful .45 caliber recoil, making it relatively controllable during automatic fire. When America entered World War II, the Thompson became standard issue for many units, particularly favored by paratroopers, scouts, squad leaders, and non-commissioned officers. Its reliability and stopping power proved invaluable in close combat situations from the jungles of the Pacific to the streets of European cities. The weapon's 31.8-inch length made it ideal for confined spaces like bunkers, buildings, and jungle warfare. However, the M1928 had significant drawbacks. Its complex machining made it expensive and time-consuming to produce, costing approximately $200 per unit during wartime. The intricate Blish lock system and finely machined parts required skilled labor. These limitations led to simplified variants like the M1 and M101 Thompson models, which removed unnecessary features to speed production. Despite its cost, the Thompson M1900 and Iconiate's effectiveness and iconic profile, cementing its place as perhaps the most famous submachine gun ever created. The Thompson M101 submachine gun emerged as a wartime evolution of the iconic Thompson M1928, designed to address the critical need for faster, more economical production during World War II. As America mobilized its industrial capacity, the complex and expensive M1928 proved impractical for mass production, prompting engineers to develop a simplified version that retained the weapon's effectiveness while dramatically reducing manufacturing costs and time. Introduced in 1942, the M101 eliminated many of the M1928's intricate features. Gone were the expensive Blish lock mechanism, the adjustable rear sight, and the cooling fins on the barrel. The weapon was redesigned to use only the simpler 20-round and 30-round box magazines, abandoning the iconic but problematic drum magazines that had become synonymous with the Tommy gun image. The firing pin was redesigned as a fixed component, further simplifying production, chambered in 45 ACP like its predecessor. The M101 maintained a firing rate of approximately 600 to 700 rounds per minute and weighed about 10.5 pounds. These simplifications reduced production costs from $200 to roughly $45 per unit and cut manufacturing time significantly, allowing American factories to produce over 500,000 M101 Thompsons during the war. Despite the cost-cutting measures, the M101 remained a reliable and effective close-quarters weapon. Soldiers appreciated its familiar operation, substantial stopping power, and rugged reliability in combat conditions. The weapon served extensively across all theaters, from the beaches of Normandy to Pacific Island invasions, proving that simplified design could deliver battlefield effectiveness without sacrificing the Thompson's legendary performance in close combat situations. The M3 submachine gun, universally nicknamed the grease gun due to its resemblance to a mechanic's grease applicator, represented American pragmatism at its finest during World War II. Designed by George Hyde and Frederick Sampson in 1942, the M3 was created to replace the expensive Thompson submachine gun with a weapon that could be manufactured quickly, cheaply, and in vast quantities using simple stamping and welding techniques, chambered in 45 ACP. The M3 utilized a straightforward blowback operation and fired from an open bolt at approximately 400 to 450 rounds per minute, slower than the Thompson, which actually improved controllability during automatic fire. The weapon fed from 30-round detachable box magazines and weighed just 8 pounds empty, making it lighter and more compact than its predecessor at 29.8 inches with stock extended. The M3's genius lay in its simplicity. It consisted of only 23 moving parts and could be manufactured for approximately $20, a fraction of the Thompson's cost. The stamped steel construction required minimal machining, allowing automotive plants and small manufacturers to produce the weapon efficiently. Sheet metal formed the receiver, barrel jacket, and magazine housing, while basic welding joined the components. Initially met with skepticism by soldiers accustomed to the refined Thompson, the M3 gradually proved its worth. Its reliability, ease of maintenance, and effectiveness in close quarters combat won over many troops, particularly tank crews and vehicle operators who appreciated its compact size. The improved M3A1 variant, introduced in late 1944, eliminated the cocking handle entirely, allowing soldiers to cock the weapon by pulling back the bolt through an ejection port cover. Over 700,000 M3 submachine guns were produced, and the design proved so effective that it remained in U.S. military service until the 1990s, testament to its practical, no-nonsense engineering. The M1 Garand revolutionized infantry warfare when it became the standard-issue rifle for U.S. forces in 1936. Designed by Canadian-American inventor John Garand, it was the first semi-automatic rifle to be widely adopted by any nation's military, giving American soldiers a significant tactical advantage over enemies armed with bolt-action rifles. Chambered in 30-06 Springfield, the M1 Garand used a gas-operated system that automatically cycled rounds, allowing soldiers to fire 8 shots as quickly as they could pull the trigger without manually working a bolt between shots. This increased rate of fire proved crucial in combat situations. The rifle fed from an 8-round en-bloc clip that ejected with a distinctive ping sound when empty, a characteristic feature that became iconic, weighing 9.5 pounds and measuring 43.6 inches long. The Garand was robust and reliable under harsh combat conditions. General George S. Patton famously called it the greatest battle implement ever devised. Over 5.4 million M1 Garands were produced during the war, serving American forces across all theaters from Normandy to the Pacific Islands. The rifle's accuracy, reliability, and firepower made it beloved by soldiers and remained in U.S. service through the Korean War, cementing its legacy as one of history's most influential military firearms. The M1919 Browning machine gun stands as one of the most successful and widely used weapons in American military history. Another masterpiece from legendary designer John Browning, the M1919, was developed after World War I as an air-cooled version of the water-cooled M1917 Browning, providing the U.S. military with a lighter, more portable medium machine gun that could serve in multiple roles. Chambered in 06 Springfield, the M1919 utilized a recoil-operated, air-cooled design that fired from a closed bolt at approximately 400 to 600 rounds per minute. The weapon fed from cloth ammunition belts, typically in 250-round configurations, providing sustained fire capability that magazines simply couldn't match. Weighing approximately 31 pounds without its mount, the M1919 required a crew of at least 2 soldiers, one to operate and one to feed ammunition and assist with barrel changes when necessary. The M1919's versatility made it invaluable across all theaters of World War II. The M1919, a 4 variant, served as an infantry support weapon on tripod mounts, while the M1919-5 featured a shoulder stock for vehicle mounting. Specialized versions were installed in tanks, aircraft, and naval vessels. The weapon's reliable belt-fed operation and sustained fire capability made it ideal for defensive positions, providing suppressive fire that could pin down enemy forces or protect flanks during advances. Known for exceptional reliability, even in harsh conditions, from North African deserts to Pacific jungles, the M1919 could fire for extended periods without malfunction. Its accuracy and dependability earned it tremendous respect among soldiers. The weapon remained in U.S. service through the Vietnam War, with over 400,000 manufactured during World War II, proving the timeless effectiveness of Browning's design philosophy. The M2 Browning 50 caliber machine gun, affectionately nicknamed Ma Deuce by American soldiers, represents one of the most successful and enduring weapons ever created. Designed by John Browning in the 1920s, this heavy machine gun was developed to provide devastating long-range firepower capable of penetrating light armor, destroying vehicles, and engaging aircraft, roles it fulfilled spectacularly throughout World War II and beyond. Chambered in the powerful 50 BMG Browning machine gun cartridge, the M2 delivered extraordinary striking power at ranges exceeding 2,000 yards. The recoil-operated, air-cooled weapon fired at approximately 450 to 600 rounds per minute from disintegrating link ammunition belts. Weighing 84 pounds for the gun alone and over 120 pounds with its tripod mount, the M2 required a crew to operate effectively, but its firepower justified the burden. The M2's versatility proved exceptional during World War II. Ground forces mounted it on tripods for defensive positions and anti-aircraft duties. Nearly every American vehicle, from jeeps to tanks, carried M2s for defense and fire support. Aircraft utilized the weapon extensively, with bombers like the B-17 Flying Fortress bristling with multiple M2s for defensive armament. Naval vessels employed them for anti-aircraft protection and engaging small craft. The weapon's ability to defeat light armor, destroy enemy positions at extreme ranges, and engage low-flying aircraft made it indispensable. Its robust construction ensured reliability in every climate, from frozen European winters to sweltering Pacific islands. Remarkably, the M2 Browning remains in active U.S. military service today, over 90 years after its introduction, a testament to Browning's genius and the weapon's timeless effectiveness on the battlefield. The M1917 Browning machine gun served as the United States military's primary heavy machine gun during the early 20th century and remained in active service throughout World War II. Designed by the prolific John Browning and adopted in 1917, this weapon was America's answer to the trench warfare demands of World War I, providing reliable, sustained automatic fire that could suppress enemy positions for extended periods. Chambered in 30-06 Springfield, the M1917 utilized a recoil-operated mechanism and featured a distinctive water cooling system. A jacket surrounding the barrel held approximately 1 gallon of water, which absorbed heat during firing and allowed for continuous operation without barrel changes. This cooling method enabled the weapon to fire 450 to 600 rounds per minute indefinitely, making it ideal for defensive positions and sustained fire missions. The weapon fed from 250-round cloth ammunition belts, providing substantial firepower without frequent reloading. Weighing approximately 103 pounds with its tripod, water, and accessories, the M1917 was a true crew-served weapon requiring at least 2 soldiers to operate effectively. Despite its considerable weight, the weapon's reliability and sustained fire capability made it invaluable in defensive roles. During World War II, while the lighter air-cooled M1919 became more common for mobile operations, the M1917 remained in service, particularly in defensive positions and on some naval vessels where its water cooling system provided advantages. The weapon excelled in stationary roles where sustained fire was critical, such as beach defenses and fortified positions. The M1917's robust design and exceptional reliability established Browning's reputation for excellence in machine gun development, and the weapon served the U.S. military faithfully through both World Wars and Korea, proving the enduring value of its proven design.